line. What was the most pleasing part of that?
Defensive rotations. Something we've been working on for a while, and have not been able to execute it to save our lives, literally. And then almost looked like we've been doing it for 20 years out of what seemed like absolutely nowhere. And then the second part is probably, again, we had a really bad first half defensively against both Bendigo and Townsville, and then really good second halves defensively against both of them, and then 4 really good quarters of defence against Sydney. But to actually do that against a top 4 calibre side on their home deck for the best part of 3.5 quarters was really pleasing.
What did you see sort of other than that defence change in the second quarter there? It looked like the girls completely figured it out. What about on the offensive end? What did you see sort of going so right in that period?
Found playbook. Really quite simple. And again, like Southside's an elite transition offensive team, and it was the number one part of their game we wanted to try and slow down. But we spoke to the girls, like cutting up the first quarter against Sydney. You were literally like, okay, that possession, I got no idea what that is. Next possession, got no idea what that is. Next possession, got no idea what that is. Like, and if we're going to play that against Southside, they're going to get out and run and be a pain in the backside all night. So let's try and find our playbook, which will give us higher quality shots, which will let us offensive rebound, and it'll get us our D-trans sorted out, etc., etc. And then just out of nowhere did it. So, kind of wild.
How was Hans Shu going off in that second quarter?
In all honesty, I have no idea. Knee knock, so I don't think it's too bad. I literally had S&C coach at halftime like, oi, Hans, no good for the second half. That's as much as I've got right now. She's got a signing line with about 4,000 fans in the hallway. So I'll get to her at some point. But yeah, just was no good for the second half.
You mentioned recent games against Townsville and Bendigo there. Does a night like tonight give you, I guess, confidence that if you do run into one of those two teams in the finals, you play like you did tonight, you'll be pretty tough to beat?
Yeah, it gives us some confidence in that if we actually get our schemes right on both ends of the floor, we're pretty good. And as always, if we get our schemes wrong on either end of the floor, we're pretty average. That's probably as on point as we've been defensively, probably in 6 years, especially through the first 3 quarters when it mattered. Like, it was just a completely foreign Perth Lynx team to what we've seen on court, but it looked exactly like all of our breakdowns we do day in and day out of practice. Where it came from, no idea.
Ali, can you shed some light on that?
Someone shed some light on it for me.
Not really, no. I just felt like we had a rhythm, and our communication was better defensively, and we were flying around for each other and had each other's backs. And I think when you're making shots as well, I guess it makes you more motivated to get up and in and fly around defensively. So I think that definitely helped, but I can't really shed too much light on it, no, because we've been practicing it for a while.
What about just for yourself in that third quarter? I think 5 threes from as many attempts. I guess sometimes when you're on, but can you just talk about that quarter for yourself personally?
I mean, yeah, you know, I'm the point guard of the team, so I sort of pick and choose my moments of, you know, when I want to be super aggressive and score. You know, my main focus is making sure that we're in our stuff, that, you know, my teammates are getting shots, we're taking good quality shots and things like that. So, yeah, I don't know, for whatever reason in that third quarter, I just seen a couple go in, and I think any shooter would know once you see a couple go in, the ring just gets larger and larger. So, yeah, it was fun.
Thanks, guys. Go ahead, Craig.
Yeah, Ryan, you've seen some people do some crazy stuff from a three-point shooting perspective. Have you seen anything from that sort of a range, though, tonight?
Not in a quarter. Marina Mabry in patches. Amy Atwell, there you go. Thank you, Megs. Amy Atwell's first half against Southside will be the all-time classic. I have that first half clipped and saved on my desktop, and anytime, I hope Amy's got it on her computer, locked and loaded, because that first half was stupid. And you were in the crowd from memory.
I was,
watching
yes,
that.
I was.
That was as good a first half of basketball as I've seen. In terms of from range, Mabry / Amy, but again, to do it consistently and whack, whack, whack when it mattered, a hell of a third quarter.
So to have the number of players you have who can catch fire just at any instant, that's your third highest scoring club history tonight. And you've done similar sorts of things around that at different points of this season. When everyone gets going, do you feel like that you've got the team that can just blow teams apart?
If we play defence like that, I do. In all honesty, we shot it okay. Like, we shot the three at 40%, which, again, is not crazy. I think the league average is like 32, 33. So it wasn't like we made 43s or anything. We hit 15. So it was the defensive end. And then offensively, the ball popped and we found playbook. And I think the scoring was just a byproduct of all of that. Normally, like, when we play offense like that, the defense is a complete afterthought, and we have three players catch fire, and we hit 21 threes, 22 threes, and we shoot 45 threes. Tonight, I thought it was the ball popped, we found playbook, and defensively they were so on point just through 3 and a bit quarters.
And you've increased your percentage from 110.5 to 112, which puts you a bit of a gap on Bendigo now in that percentage race. Was that in the back of your mind at different points tonight?
100%. And that was even like the message at three-quarter time. And we lost motivation a bit in the fourth, which is understandable but annoying. And then Southside started making it rain, and Southside played really well. And Chrissy subbed her bench in, and they gave them a real spark. So that was frustrating. But again, we left our stars out there for way longer than normal, knowing that the percentage game does matter this year, unfortunately. So even like late, like we would normally have just pulled that ball out and let the clock expire. But it's just way too tight in the point end of the ladder, so we had to keep playing.
And to know that Han missed the other day, and now she's going to be sore again, like, are you in a position now where you're starting to think, I'm going to have to manage her for when it really matters, even though the next game does matter a hell of a lot compared to what it will matter in 2 weeks? It's vastly different.
No, just because it was literally just from my very limited knowledge, it was a knee knock, which could happen at any point. Like, if it was the same issues she was having in Sydney, totally different story. And if she had a whole season of the issue in Sydney, totally different story. I think you're 100% right. But this was just a random knee knock. So, again, we can't wrap them in cotton wool forever. If it's just a knee knock and she's okay, then I'm not too worried about it.
Thank you.
Cool.
Ally, how enjoyable was it to be out on court with your whole team playing at such a high level?
Yeah, I think you probably see from me out there, screaming, getting around my teammates and celebrating. Like, that's why you play basketball. And I think over the last, month in particular, we've been playing some really good basketball, and it's just so fun to be out there with your teammates who you're friends with. And, even seeing Steph Gorman, who's been, in a rut, she's been injured, she hasn't been shooting the ball as well as she would like. And then in the Sydney game, in this game, like, she gets back to her normal self, and like, that's the stuff that you live for. So to be out there and get a good win like that and celebrate my teammates and high five Ryan after I make a three is it's why you play.
Broke my hand. Seriously. Oh wow, that's right, that's fair. That was in film review. Good stuff.
Ryan, just on Gorman, how important is this form that's now beginning for her? I mean, her body was cooked from Coburn and NBL1. So to be able to get into this confidence now with her body and her contribution, how big is that for her and for the team?
Yeah, huge, because it gives us another weapon off the bench, and she's by far our best perimeter defender. But as always, and as you're seeing with Townsville right now, putting Woods on whoever they think can't shoot. If Steph can't make a shot, they might put Woods onto Gorman. If Gorman can shoot it, okay, that resource is gone. Go and find someone else. Kind of with Maley made some shots tonight as well. Like, he can't use that resource anymore. So having to make shots and keep the defense honest gives us lanes to play way more one-on-one, and we got some elite one-on-one players as well. So Gorman making shots means we can play her for longer periods, and then more importantly than anything else is how healthy is she? Because we would love to be playing her 30, 35 minutes a game plus. The body right now just won't let her do that. And probably that's probably more to Craig's question from before. Like, she's one we probably are managing. Because when it comes time to play Townsville and Bendigo and whoever the fourth seed is, come finals, like Gorman, I'm going to use everything I've got tonight. Han's not in that boat.
And Ally, how much joy do you guys get from seeing your young guns in KJ and tonight Alira Fotu not only get on but score and contribute? It seemed to bring so much joy to the group tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, we've all really gotten around Alyra in particular, her scoring her first WNBL points in Sydney. We celebrated that like nothing else. So, yeah, it's awesome to see that. It's the start of a long career for the both of them. And, it's really pleasing to see. Alyra was amazing tonight as well. They were up and in and, it didn't faze her. So to see her development throughout the season has been super pleasing.
And we've just got a rookie reporter tonight from amy@well.com. So if you guys could just be kind to her and we'll hand over to her to finish the press.
This should be a ripper.
Yes, I've just got two really important questions. First of all, Ali, what did you eat for breakfast this morning?
What did I eat for breakfast? I think I had a bacon and egg roll with a hash brown and a iced soy latte.
Hash brown.
Yes.
Wow.
And
Love a
Ryan,
hash brown.
This will be an absolute perler.
Tossing up one between two, but I thought I'd let you off. Do you believe you are the best golf player out of all the WNBL head coaches?
No.
Oh.
I don't.
Who's better?
Mike Malap. Are you counting assistant coaches?
Current.
WNBL head coaches.
Head coaches? I know Kennedy plays a bit. I don't know how well. Who else plays?
He's more in the game, I think.
And he's big, like he's strong. No, he'd hit the ball a mile. If Kennedy connects, it would go. Andrew Cooper apparently is off scratch, which I think is rubbish. But he talks a big game, but he's not a head coach. I don't know. And, I'm hitting fairways, it's not me. Sweet question, mate. Thank you. That's awesome, mate.
It's going to be,
No. No, you don't get another go.
That's
You
all we
had
have
one
time for,
go.
thank you.
That's your two questions.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for sharing with me.
Two quick
Oh,
ones.
they're back to a real journalist. This should be exciting.
I have to end on that, surely.
Ali, I've seen you in that sort of state when you played for like Norwood in the national finals, but tonight was, I feel like, something I've never seen before in person. Is that something just you go unconscious? How does that go from a shooter's point of view?
Yeah, I really don't know. I can't explain it. I think for me, I'm such a confident shooter, and when you see a couple go in, as I said before, like the ring just gets larger and larger, and I feel like I could turn around and throw it in the ring and it would go in. So as a shooter, you love those moments, and my teammates were great in finding my hot hand, and we rode that for as long as we could.
And Ryan, I know you're going to say it's only the next game is the focus, but there is a big three forming at the top of the finals ladder. How much do you dedicate in terms of preparing for the inevitable versus what's coming next?
We've been preparing for Bendigo and Townsville since round one. No word of a lie. And it's played out exactly the same way as it played out last year. In the order will be different. So we've been trying to get ready for them all year. We said it in a press conference earlier in the year. Every defensive scheme and every offensive scheme we've put in, do we think this will work against Bendigo and Townsville? It might destroy whoever number 5, 6, 7 is, whatever. If we think that Townsville or Bendigo will kill it, then don't bother. Find things that will work against those two teams. So we've been preparing for them all year. Let's wait and see if it's right.
And you said the percentage wasn't something you overly enjoyed, but from your point of view, what are sort of the pros and cons from a season point of view in terms of health, that you could get lucky with a split head-to-head if you're all injured? Like, there are pros and cons to it, so how did you sort of navigate it when you first got told the difference?
So I like killing the game and getting the bench on and like getting your stars off and trying to keep your team as fresh and as healthy as you can for finals. So from that side, I know some coaches love playing to the final buzzer, and that's cute. We're trying to win games in March, not in November. So obviously, you've got to win 11 or 12 or whatever the number is to get there. But we're trying to win the games that matter. And there's 4 games a year that really matter, and they haven't started yet. So trying to get to those final 4 wins is what we're playing for. Obviously, it's awkward because we play certain teams 4 times and other teams 3. So if you're unfortunate, Bendigo and ourselves drew each other 4 times. Townsville didn't draw either of us 4 times. And then you've got to get teams at the right time of year. So if you get lucky with injuries early, and it's funky. I get why they do it, and I don't know how you'll do it any differently. But just from a selfish coach likes to empty his bench up big or down big late in games, I don't love it. But this year I think you have to do it. Cool. No more from... Well, your words, not mine, but accurate.
Yeah, no, I think I'm okay.
Good.
Awesome.
Thank you. You don't get 2 goes, don't you?